Okay guys, this is a full demonstration of my superhero repulsor kit. Right now I'm going to show you the final effect that's achieved when you take my kit out to a convention or other event. There's a magnet underneath the hand plate, and when you put your hand back into the blast position, then you trigger the sound effect when the magnet comes into contact with the Hall effect sensor. Then when you relax your hand, the magnet breaks contact and the power down sound effect is triggered. Right now it's at the standby light level, and that is adjustable. You can turn it all the way off, or you can turn it all the way up to full brightness. I'll show you that in a little bit, as well as some of the other adjustments that you can do. But right now I'm going to show you guys something that I've not demonstrated before. You've read about it on the forum, but here I'm going to demonstrate the ability to switch between two different sound profiles. And we did this because it was requested that some people wanted the power up without the blast sound. Some people wanted, maybe both of them. And so we've got the two different sound profiles with a little toggle switch. You can switch back and forth between the two different sound profiles. And I've just selected the second sound profile, which is the one without the blast. And then when I relax my hand, it's going to trigger the power down sound. But I've also got a little treat for you guys. Also, we've got a volume knob here, which you can turn the sound all the way down, off, or you can crank it up. And if you guys like that effect with the song playing, it will play until you re-trigger the blast. You can put your hand back into the fire position, it'll trigger the blasting sound effect. And then when you relax your hand, it will go to the power down sound. And if you're still in the second profile, then it will play that song again, starting over from the beginning. You also have the ability, like I said, to switch back and forth. So you can switch back to the first sound profile. Okay, and the song will still play until you trigger your blast. And I have the volume turned down a little low there, so you can hear me speaking. Okay, so there you have it. Those are some of the main features that you guys will be able to access and have fun with when you're at a convention. So next I'll show you a little bit more about some of the finer features where you've got the ability to adjust some of the details and program the sound effects, stuff like that. So here we go. Okay, so here we've got my gauntlet. And I decided to put my circuit board where I'd be able to access it while I was in costume. I usually go as Tony Stark with one gauntlet on. My left hand is free to do whatever I need to with it. So I decided to put mine right in the pod here on the inside, so I could access the switch and the volume knob as you guys saw earlier. So it's right like that on the inside of my pod. And the battery pack I've actually put on the bottom of the gauntlet. And then also, if you look inside, I've got the sensor straight down the middle, so it's right about there on the inside of the gauntlet. And I secured that with some Velcro. You guys could also secure the battery pack and the circuit board with the Velcro if you'd like, just to help hold it in place. The sensor, Hall effect sensor itself, is really good to secure it with Velcro. That will enable you to move it around and get just that right sweet spot so that you can activate it right on cue every single time. So here is the superhero repulsor kit. Half of it at least. This is one of the circuit boards that you'll get. The kit comes with two, and each circuit board comes with a battery pack for 2 lithium-ion batteries, and that'll have an on and off switch. Then you've got your main circuit board, okay. And on the main circuit board, you'll notice that that's covered with heat shrink to protect it from dirt, grime, sweat, whatever. And then you've got a thumb wheel at the top. That's your volume knob. And next to that is a slide switch that will allow you to switch between the two different sound profiles on the soundboard. And the soundboard itself is right here, and it has a USB port on it. And that's where you're going to plug in your cable to your computer so that you can program the sounds to it. And then we've also got 3 little adjustment knobs here. The first one is for the fade in time, the second one is for the fade out time, and the third one is for the standby light level. So what you need is, if you've got a screwdriver, a miniature screwdriver, or you can get one of my little keychain screwdrivers, so you've got one with you wherever you go. It's got a flathead on it, it's got a Phillips and a little socket bit. I don't know if that would come in handy, but definitely the flathead and the Phillips. And then just take the flathead part of it, and you can just turn the little screws there to adjust the different times. The fade in time, you'll be able to increase or decrease the amount of time that it takes for the LEDs to reach full brightness once you activate the light and sound effect. And then for the fade out time, same thing, you can increase or decrease the amount of time it takes for the LEDs to go from full brightness back down to the standby light level. And then the third one there, the standby light level, obviously you're directly affecting the amount of brightness that you've got in the when it's not being activated in the standby position. Okay, so let's hook up the sound module. Okay, and it's already on, so you can see that the standby light level is set at a moderate level. With the keychain screwdriver, I'm going to just adjust that real quick, because we can turn it all the way off, or we can turn it all the way up to full brightness. You can walk around with it at full brightness if you want, but I like to keep mine at a moderate level, enough that you can see it's on, but also that you get a really good effect when you activate the repulsor blast. Okay, and then we've got the Hall effect sensor right here, and when you bring that into contact with the magnet, then you activate the blast. Turn that down a little bit. Okay. And then we've also got the sound selector, sound profile selector. Switch that to the other side. And with the thumb wheel we can control the volume by turning it all the way down, or we can crank it up. That was probably only about 50% of the volume. You can really crank it up, which is kind of necessary when you're in a louder environment, like at a convention and everybody's talking. You won't really be able to hear it at a lower volume. You've got to crank it up so that you can really hear it. And then, like I said, you can interrupt the sound. It'll start over from the beginning if you switch the sound profile. Okay, then you can go back and reset it. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to program the sound module. Well, I'm going to just kind of show you basically what it involves. I'll go into more detail on a separate video so that you guys can see exactly how to do it. But like I mentioned before, your sound module has a USB port on it. So all you have to do is hook that up to your computer. Okay, plug that in. Okay, and sometimes this will happen, and see what happened was I left the power on. That can affect the ability for the sound module to connect to the computer. It's best if you disconnect the lights so that there's no current draw there, and so that you turn off the battery pack. Now, if you ever have problems connecting the sound module to your computer, we've put a reset button on the circuit board. I'm going to zoom in real quick so you can see that. Okay. The reset button is right here. And see, I just pushed it, and you heard the tone from my computer. It connected right when I pushed the reset button. Okay. So, all you need, like I said, is a computer with the USB cable and the program. Now the program is free, and I'll show you guys where to get that on the other video and how to use it. But basically what you do is you can use any sounds you want to. You put it into a file that you open up and load onto the sound module. So I've already created a couple of different files. I'm just going to open up one of them right now. Now, what's on here now is my AC/DC repulsor file. And what I'm going to use this time is just a regular file. Okay, which just has the power up with the blast sound and the power down on sound profile 1. And then on sound profile 2, it's got the power up with no blast sound and the power down. And there's no song on that one. Alright, so I've opened the file on the computer. I have to compile it, which takes a few seconds. The more of the memory you use, the longer it takes. Alright, and then I go to download data. I connect to the sound module. It tells me it's connected. If it ever says that it's not connected or it's having trouble recognizing the USB device, then, like I said, you just hit that reset button there and it will connect to the computer after that. Alright, and then I'm going to click on download. And it's going to erase the information that's on here first. And then when it's done with erasing the data, it will load on the new sound profile. And the more memory that you're using on the sound module, the longer it's going to take. With the song that I've got on there, I'm using about 90% of the memory, and I have the entire song on there. Okay, so I just downloaded the new information, and then I'm going to click disconnect. Okay, and we can close that, and we're done. That's all there is to that. Hook it up, turn it on. Okay, and here's the first sound profile. And switch to the second sound profile. There we go. Let me do it again. Am I adjusting the knob? I was accidentally turning the volume knob. Okay, and as you got to see right there, the Hall effect sensor has to make good contact with the magnet in order to correctly trigger this lighting and sound effect. So, getting that's where the Velcro comes into place. Getting it in the right position will make a world of difference. Switching back. So I hope you guys have enjoyed seeing this demonstration and all of the features that are available in the circuit, and I know that you're going to love it.